Unfortunately, at the same time that Republicans announced this very important hearing, they also tossed in a big distraction that they like to call the Biden border crisis. As badly as we need immigration reform and have for years, this issue is not about immigration. At the end of the day, cracking down on an illegal drug market is primarily an economic issue. That's why we're talking about it in the Healthcare and Financial Services Subcommittee. If there's one number that I want us to remember today, it's 97. That is how many times more Americans died from synthetic opioids in 2021 than in 1999. This shows CDC data on drug-related overdose deaths from 1999 to 2001. And the gray line here shows the trend in overdose deaths from synthetic opioids like fentanyl. So, Mr. Ruggiero, the worse fentanyl trafficking gets, we're going to see the impact in the fatality data. If the Biden border crisis was the driver of all of this, when would it have started on this graph?
January 2021.
Correct, because that's when President Biden was sworn into office. But the problem predates that, as you can see. The gray line started spiking in 2013, but it really took off in 2017. So
will the gentlewoman yield for a question real quick?
No, I'd rather finish.
I just want to point out that Biden was a vice president under the Obama. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Okay, I did not yield, so you cannot talk. President Trump restricted immigration starting back in 2020 with the onset of the pandemic. So did fentanyl deaths go down in 2020? Mr. Ruggiero?
No.
No, they actually went up. So if pandemic migration restrictions didn't cut off the fentanyl supply that's killing Americans, I think we can safely stop blaming immigration for what is a cartel problem. I'm all about holding powerful people accountable, and penalizing big fentanyl suppliers is certainly a step in the right direction. But just like any problem that builds over the course of decades, one set of sanctions is not going to fix the problem. Not even one type of solution is going to fix the problem. To end the opioid epidemic, we have to be just as serious about expanding access to drug treatment resources as we are about cracking down on drug traffickers. The opioid crisis is a complex, multifaceted problem, and it's going to require collaboration across government agencies and across party lines. With that challenging road ahead, we simply can't afford distractions. But it's important to remember that that line represents people, real lives, too many people whose lives were lost too soon. We owe them and their families not only a careful examination of the true causes of the opioid crisis, but the action that addresses the roots of the problem. The United States needs to continue to address the opioid crisis from every possible angle. We need to cut off the supply of fentanyl, including by sanctioning China-based suppliers and money launderers. To do that, though, we have to be able to engage with China and impose sanctions. I'm confident that the administration will continue to do that. At the same time, we also need to help those harmed by fentanyl by expanding drug treatment resources. There are Republicans and Democrats on record willing to work across the aisle to do those things, and count me as one of them.